One of the things that really set me up for success here was inclusion and being included, being invited to things, being asked for my opinion on stuff. So I think what we need to do, like outside of this room, is for the next generation, is include them. Ask them to go to an event with you. Ask them what their opinion is at work. Take them under your wing as a mentor. I think that's what we need to task ourselves with to change the narrative on Youngstown.
BusinessJournalDaily.com 3 Minutes With is brought to you by Farmers National Bank.
Save, borrow, and invest with Farmers. Take heart knowing you're helping create a strong community. Mind your money at Farmers. Talk directly to local decision makers about your loans, investments, and insurance. Farmers, fiercely local, fiercely loyal.
We're going to go around the room for final thoughts. Gina?
Final thoughts on the question? Or
You can final thoughts on whatever you want to say.
Sure. So just to quickly go on to that last point, as someone who works in the education system, what I see from the older generation is the lack of trying to understand the younger generation. The famous line I hear a lot is, well, when I was a kid, I used to play outside till the street lights came on. Now kids sit inside on their tablets. As a mother, in this year, good. I want my kids inside on tablets because they're safe. Because it's just, I know where they're at and they're safe. There's no safety, unfortunately, in some of our more challenging communities. So I appreciate the inside on tablet mindset. So instead of berating it though, like, I'm always happy for comparison or conversation. Yes, I want to know how you did something. And I say this to our older mentors in our school system. I want to know how you did it, but also don't look at it as like they're doing something wrong. It's try to get on their level, match it, and then see how you can help that youth build up the mindset. I think that makes them feel more cared for, and then their education gets a little bit more value, and then from there it can stem into them, potentially turning around and keeping their self in this area.
Thank you.
My final thoughts. I recently read an article that Generation Z is not looking for a job that can advance them more than they're looking for a job that'll mentor them into the next season of their life. And we've talked about that a lot today. And I just don't feel that, not necessarily one organization or the other, because there are a bunch that do it in today's world. But the questions that we've answered today are not a one-size-fits-all. And we can't do it alone. We can't do it with just one nonprofit, one company that decides to make a change. The mindset of this community has to shift, or will either stay the same and stay stagnant, or people will continue to leave and people won't come back.
I have to tell you, I think from the 40 years I've been doing this, the mindset has shifted. Perhaps not as far as you'd like it or it needs to be, but I have seen changes. So just want to throw that in. Betsy?
Just my final thoughts. As someone who moved back to the area as a 20-something, one of the things that really set me up for success here was inclusion and being included, being invited to things, being asked for my opinion on stuff. So I think what we need to do, like outside of this room, is for the next generation, is include them. Ask them to go to an event with you. Ask them what their opinion is at work. Take them under your wing as a mentor. I think that's what we need to task ourselves with to change the narrative on Youngstown.
I would completely agree with that and build on that, because going back to talking about mentoring those that are coming into the professional field, looking at other generations that are mentoring millennials and mentoring younger professionals. I've been blessed to work under great leaders that have taken a risk on me. And so what other organizations are there that are willing to cultivate young leaders, and then us being able to carry that on to the next generation? So I still think there's some work to be done among our generation of building some of the leaders that are in the community before we can start moving to the younger generation that's coming into college.
Personally, I'm just excited. Hearing everyone talk, innovation is just, it's in the air. So I'm personally excited. I'm taking everything everybody says as self-evaluation for myself, so that I can also continue to be the change final thoughts as far as that part. That's just pretty much it. I'm just ready. I'm on the line with you. So I just need somebody. Let's shoot the gun so we can just all take off running. So, I probably shouldn't say that. I'm a cop. Okay. But yes, key things as I'm hearing is education, awareness, and let's just go. So.
I want to agree with the statement you made a moment ago, Andrea. The mindset's definitely changing here. You do see an insane level of collaboration, and there are a lot of incredible organizations in our market working to do a lot of great things. I think we just we have the hardest challenge ever in getting that information out to the people that don't feel connected in the community, right? They already feel like they're outside looking in. So we've got to beat our way towards them, or do maybe with a kinder way get to them. But I think this has been a great conversation, and I really appreciate you guys inviting me and putting this on.
Really quick, I just want to say, as we were talking about older generation, just that we want your support and we need your support. You've seen things that we haven't seen, we've only heard of, and so with us trying to build the valley and surrounding areas, we want your input, but hear us out. And obviously there's going to be times where you're going to fail. And that's something I think everybody here understands, that nobody ever wants to fail, but sometimes that failing is just your way to success. And just listen to us, hear us, give advice, but don't critique us and think that we're, the bad generation who can't do anything, because we are here and it is our turn to be that force. And I think we all here have that. And I will say, I am definitely going to do what you're doing. As a yoga instructor, I always reflect. And it's so important to just kind of take in what you hear from everyone else and what you see, because there's things that I haven't thought of or never even heard of, and so now it makes me just want to take time to see what I can do. And I think we're going to talk about this at MVYP, of us all getting together and connecting into MCCTC, CANFIELD Boardman, because we're all from this area, what we can do. They do job fairs. I think we should probably do a community organization fair in the school. So thank you for having us here.
BusinessJournalDaily.com 3 Minutes With is brought to you by Farmers National Bank.
Save, borrow, and invest with Farmers. Take heart knowing you're helping create a strong community. Mind your money at Farmers. Talk directly to local decision makers about your loans, investments, and insurance. Farmers, fiercely local, fiercely loyal.